Hello, Red 7 Algebra 2 class. It is Memorial Day and I am here late Monday morning working these videos for you while I am off with more doctor's appointments. So before I even start, I want to thank you for your patience because your class has been hit more with my absences over the past couple of weeks than anybody else. And trust me, I would definitely rather be with you teaching this lesson than up at LARMC with more appointments. So before we get started, make sure you have your notes because I'm just going to follow along with the notes. And hopefully I mentioned this earlier. If you're on my YouTube channel, hopefully watching this, you probably need to select playlist because every video is going to be about 5 minutes long. And instead of having somebody run up and stop and start each one, you probably just want to just hit the playlist and then just select play all. And then if you need to stop it, somebody has a question or needs to catch up or whatever, then you can just pause it. So this is actually day 3 of our conic section. We've covered parabolas, we've covered circles, and now we're going to talk about ellipses today. And I have a quick sketch, on the board. An ellipse, I believe Noah had mentioned once that it's kind of like an oval. So if you want to picture that, that's fine because I guess that could be an oval. But you also want to think about an ellipse as taking a circle and taking the edges of the circle and just stretching it because that's pretty much what you're doing. So we're going to start off with a definition, and then we've got several parts to know about an ellipse. It's kind of like the parabola. You got several different parts that you have to identify, and then we'll go into your equations and how to get, identify everything and find your parts. So let's start with your definition. A definition of an ellipse is a set of all points in a plane, and remember we're talking about a geometric plane, so we're just talking about space, such that the sum of the distance between a point and two fixed points is a constant. And when I say a constant, we're just talking about it's the same number. So while you're writing this down, what this definition is saying is you'll have a point on your ellipse, anywhere on your ellipse. And within your ellipse are two fixed points. And you're going to find out in a second, these fixed points are called the foci, or the focus points. And what this definition is saying is any point on your ellipse, the distance between that point and the two foci that are going to be in the center, you'll see that in a minute, that distance, the sum of that distance is the same. That's what makes it an ellipse. So this is your definition, and you'll probably never have to worry about that again. But I just wanted to give it to you. And if you'd like, I'd probably, I need to put my glasses on. Hold on, y'all. It's warm in here, so I took my glasses off, but now I need to put them on because I can't see the time. All right, so we've got about a minute and a half. Let's see how much I can get done in this first video here. So you've got your definition, and now let's talk about the parts of your ellipse. Now before you do that, I hope that you notice that you have on your notes a vertical and a horizontal ellipse. You've got two because there's two different types. So I know that in the past, like when we did the parabola, you notice that you had two different equations because the parabola opened up and down or left and right. Well, it's the same thing here. You're going to have a horizontal ellipse and a vertical ellipse. So before we get started with the parts, if you can take a straight edge really quick, let's take that first ellipse that you have there and let's draw vertical and horizontal axes. All right? So just go straight across, straight as you can. That horizontal axis, we call that the major axis, and I'm going to define that in a minute. And then the vertical one, just kind of go perpendicular straight through. We call that the minor axis. Okay, so let's add that first, and then just hit 5 minutes. So in the next video, we're going to talk about the part